Okay. It's been a long time since I've performed or worked in theater at all. It's actually been 5 years, which is hard to believe. That's the longest I've ever gone without doing theater. Ever since 5th or 6th grade, when I choreographed the St. Francis of Assisi Living Stations, starring Anne-Marie Scalise. I don't know if she's here, but that was to some Stephen Schwartz, like Day by Day or something up the aisle. And ever since I did that, I've always worked in theater. I've either taught or performed or directed or choreographed. I've choreographed shows with crutches, with broken bones in my feet. I've definitely choreographed a lot of shows pregnant. I've performed shows pregnant. I've, as I said before, pumped milk in the dressing room or wherever else. So even through all my life, I've always worked. And I haven't worked in a whole lot of places, and I haven't worked a whole lot. Sometimes it's 1 or 2 projects a year, but I always do something. So this break has been very different for me. But I've been really fortunate that I've been able to keep working in the performing arts through my church singing jobs. And it's not glamorous. I do sing at some weddings, but for the most part I'm singing at funeral masses. And sometimes I think, how did I in particular get that job? Because most people who know me know how can I put this? I have quick access to my emotions. So it's sometimes difficult to be sitting there listening to a sad eulogy or whatever, just it's a sad occasion, and I often have to sit up there trying not to cry, just, you're getting paid, you're getting paid, you're getting paid. You do not have the luxury of feeling these emotions right now. Just, no. And it is ironic that I'm the one doing it. I mean, it's terrible. But I also, you know, I'm so good at crying, actually. If anybody needs anybody to cry, you can hire me. Because most shows I'm in, almost every part I've ever played, actually, I have to cry. Even if there's no part in the play that calls for crying, usually the director's like, we need some crying, Finnegan. But I'm not just a crier, I'm a kisser. I kiss. I kiss in shows. I have kissed people in almost every play I've ever been in. Starting with Cinderella in 5th grade, and including one wretched production of Starting Here, Starting Now, in which I had to kiss all 3 of the guys in that show. And one of the guys dropped out of the show a week before it opened, so the assistant stage manager took over his part, so I had to kiss him too. Now, for somebody who's been with the same guy since I was 15, I have kissed an awful lot of fellas. 2/3 of them are gay, but whatever. So it counts in my kissing tally. But back to the funerals. There's 3 reasons why I am so glad I have this job. The first is just that it's a really great part-time job for a stay-at-home mom. I can go, I'm gone for 2 hours. I don't need to get a lot of childcare. Sometimes the jobs are on the weekends when my husband's home, so it's a really great way for me to just make a little bit of extra money. The second is that it's kept me musically going. If I didn't do those jobs, I guess I'd just be singing around my house. And that's fine, but I feel like it's really helped me to grow as a musician. I have to be flexible. I'm often playing and singing with different people. Different priests do things differently. You have to be ready to jump up and do it at the right time. I've gotten much better at reading music. I was like, what is she talking about? But he doesn't know how bad I was before. I have learned a lot on the job training. And I'm really lucky because for the most part I work with 2 really good musicians. Molly Mahoney, who's here, and Bob Lesso. And they take it really seriously, as do I. And although it's not a lot to offer at such a difficult time in someone's life, at least for that hour, we can make it sound nice. And I do feel like it's a service of a sort. The third part is the spiritual part. And for me, that's the most important. It's really a true privilege to participate in such a profound life event. And I try not to take it for granted. We sing a lot of the same things week in and week out. As you would imagine, people choose similar songs for funerals. And there's a tendency that if you sing the same thing over and over, it starts to become like background noise and you're not paying attention. But I think for me it's been the opposite. I don't know if I'm thick or what, but singing the same thing, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times a week, has really helped me to gain so much from those words. The songs, the themes are about strength and hope and faith and trust. And I really have, it has sustained me through a lot. I remember reading an article in a magazine, and it was an interview with an actress, a Hollywood actress, I can't remember who it was. But she had gone through a really serious health crisis, and she said she always thought she was an Om girl, as in Om. It turns out she was a Hail Mary girl. And I thought that really described me as well, although I don't think it's exclusive, and you can hear me oming every once in a while. But I was talking to a friend a couple weeks ago, and she asked me how I was, and she happens to always ask me when I'm having, it's always like a bad day when she asks me, and I said to her, I feel like I always have bad news for you. You know, and I used to be so cheerful and fun. And she said, what, and then life got real? And I thought, yeah, that's it, life got real. And I think it gets real for everybody at some point. Unless you are completely delusional in denial, life gets real, and it's just dumb luck whether it gets real early or late or in between. So whether you Om or you Hail Mary or whatever you do, at some point you have to lean in to something greater than yourself. So this is a church song, and it's not from funerals, it's just a regular mass song, and it's taken from the words of St. Augustine, so this is really old, you're talking like 380. And I'm amazed at how relevant it is to me, and also humbled at the fact that people have basically been seeking the same answers forever. So this is O Beauty, Ever Ancient, and if you'd like to sing along, it is a church song. When we get to the chorus, it goes, O beauty ever ancient, O beauty ever new, you the mirror of my life renewed, let me find my life in you.